Best forking friends, friends till the end. We're at it again. We can play pretend. We've got a lot to say. What are we gonna talk about today? Best forking friends till the end, till the end. Best forking friends, friends till the end. Best forking friends.
Hello, welcome to the Best Forking Friends podcast. With us tonight, we have our friends Etch,
Yeah.
Justin,
Hello.
Kyle,
Yo.
and I'm your host, Jesi. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Great.
Doing well.
Fantastic.
Yeah? We're excited for the new year?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah?
definitely. I
little
love
bit.
Christmas as well.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. The new year means I need to go back to work where I'm on vacation right now. So I'm kind of excited for right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. So, we're going to talk about the new year and any, thing that happened in the past of the year. And I didn't like that. Branson, will you edit this part? I don't like what I just said. Thanks, bud. Help me make a note with him for that.
He'll hear it
I know.
and laugh.
Yes,
And
he
then-
will.
and then
ask
possibly
me
leave it in.
if
It's
he
gonna
can
be
keep
here.
it.
He's not editing
He's gonna
it.
ask
It's
me
gonna
to
be
keep
in here.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You're good. It's all right.
Okay. So, New Year, same me. That's kind of what I go by. I don't really do resolutions.
Yeah.
I think it's too much pressure for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just try to be a good person in general and try to do well on a general basis. So, why have a resolution? So,
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
my thoughts on it. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Can we elaborate real quick
Yeah,
on
go
that?
ahead.
Well, I'm going to start. Like you said, I think every year a bunch of people do that New Year's resolutions, and it's like 90% of the people don't even do it through the first month. So why set yourself up for failure?
Mm-hmm.
My New Year's resolution is next year I'm going to breathe air. Can't fail there.
Right?
Well, careful.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Thank you,
true.
Kyle. I like your confidence in me breathing air
That
next year.
just sounds like tempting fate to me.
It does.
so-
Well, hey,
Yeah.
if you can't hear that, I'm knocking on wood right now.
Yeah. I feel like New Year's resolutions are like if you need a start date to start doing good, then
Mhm.
it's already kind of a silly task that you're
Right.
putting out for yourself. It's like,
Exactly.
now I'm going to decide
Yeah.
to live longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
January 1st.
Right.
I'm going to
Because
wait. Yeah.
You waited until you were done with the holidays because you were like, I'm going to be
Yeah.
pretty belligerent with this turkey.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to be like, okay, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I need to do better.
Uh-huh.
I think now I'm going to start because my
Yeah.
heart started doing weird
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
after that. So
Yeah.
now it's time.
After
So,
that third
yeah.
helping of mashed potatoes
But
and
how much
gravy.
do you really
yeah.
care about
Exactly.
yourself?
If you,
Right.
if you got to put a date and it's got to be at the beginning of the year to
Uh-huh.
start your thing,
Yeah.
then you probably have other problems going on.
Conveniently after Halloween's candy and Thanksgiving
Yes.
turkey and Christmas.
It is kind of a weird time that you say that. And most of them are diet related too, as well.
Usually.
a lot of times, yeah.
Yeah. And did it come like from a commercial standpoint? Like,
Probably.
how did that even start? Is really what my question would be. And are you really starting it in a realistic
Yeah.
spot whenever you're probably really not in the mindset? Whenever
No.
you're saying, okay, this day I'm going to start. Yeah, if
Yeah.
your mind was made up to do it, you would have started it a long time ago.
And
Right.
I think it sets you up for disappointment, not just
Mhm.
failure, but disappointment. Because
Yeah.
then you fail almost inevitably, and then you feel bad about yourself
Mm-hmm.
because you failed.
Yeah.
And if it's something like a diet, what do you do when you feel bad about yourself because you failed?
Yeah.
You go get a gallon of ice cream and
You go
pour
on
some
a
chocolate on
diet.
it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Back to square one.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
most of the resolutions that people are doing as far as diet and exercise are unrealistic. If you haven't worked out for 5 years and you think you're going to do some strenuous workout the
True.
first time,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna fail. Like you're setting yourself up for failure. And I also believe that it was started to make money because, you know, those shake weights,
Mm-hmm.
you buy them for $20 and you don't use them after. Guess what? I still made my $20 off them shake weights you bought. You thought was going to jiggle
Yeah.
that fat off your ass. No,
Yeah.
get off that ass and work.
And you know all them gym memberships
True.
be advertising around the holidays. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
for sure.
everybody's signing
Exactly.
up for the
Just
new
$1
year.
down for your broke ass.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
hey,
Like-
we'll give you a year for $100 or whatever, and
Yeah.
they'll show
Uh-huh.
up for the first month, and they'll never
Uh-huh.
be there. That's $100 they made for
Yeah.
nothing.
Or
Right.
maybe
Yep.
they won't even show up. A lot of people just
Exactly.
don't even show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or they'll get like gift cards for Christmas, you know, or whatever. It's like, fuck this. You think look at me. You think I'm going to the gym? Look at me.
That's when you go find someone else who didn't get that gift card but thinks that they're going to go to the gym and say, "Hey, I got this $50 gift card. I'll sell it to you for $40."
Hey, you know what we
Yep.
call that? We used to do that with Link Card back in the day.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to get on that tangent. We're good.
That's good. That's good. So, how do we think this year went? In one word, if you could describe your year, and you can't use chaotic or expensive, how would you describe it in one word?
I'll go ahead and start off. My year's been super busy, and reason why, or hectic. I don't know if I could use that word. It's kind of close to chaotic, and I was pointed that out before we started on here. But anyway, for what I do for a living, I work in a geothermal industry. I build refrigerant, units, heating and cooling units. And for the people who don't know, we're on a transition of refrigerant we can use. So like right now we're on R410A. That's the refrigerant we can use. We're switching. The government has made it outlawed that you can't use it after this year. Well, you can use it, but you can't manufacture. And the new refrigerant we're using is flammable. It's R454B. So my whole year has been based upon doing testing. There's like a lot more mitigation involved in it. So like for me at work, it's just been chaotic or hectic. I know we couldn't use chaotic, but it's just been a crazy year because if we don't get to a certain point, we can't sell units. And like Kyle would, on the last podcast would know, I said, to me, that's if we can't sell units, then we're putting people out of work. So I'm part of the team that's trying to do that transition. And it's I feel like it's a responsibility for us to get this done so we can keep, doing what we're doing. So it's been
So you
a
feel the
crazy,
pressure.
yeah, a lot of pressure.
Wow.
So it's been a crazy year as far as that. And I'm hoping this new year is going to be a lot better because this pressure is a lot, but you know what? We're going to get there. We're going to get through it, and we'll be better for it at the end.
You're built for that shit, dog. You got it.
Yeah, I know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, bro. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel better hearing it from you. But
Well,
yeah.
it sounds like your new refrigerant has an extra feature, right? It can keep things cool, and since it's flammable, it can keep things warm.
well, you're right. And it's also not as flammable as like they make it seem. Like at first they're treating it like propane, which propane we all know is pretty
Super
flammable.
Yeah.
You could legitly have a hole in your unit. I could hold a fire to it, and it could be flowing this refrigerant out, and it'd be like just a flimsy hue. Like it'll light on fire, but it's not like setting your whole out.
It won't back ignite
Yeah.
into the fridge.
Yeah,
or
it's not gonna
anything.
blow up or nothing crazy, but they're still making us take the steps to treat it like it's super flammable. So like it's been like a tall task for us to complete these steps because it's not as flammable as they're making it seem. So like the testing for it's kind of weird, and it's just like I said, it's been just a crazy time. But like I said, we'll get there.
Yeah.
And just so you know, if you guys got to buy a geothermal unit or any refrigerant unit, you better do it before the end of the year because the price is gonna go up.
Why is that? Oh wait, we're not supposed to talk about politics.
No, well, actually, it doesn't have anything to do with politics. It's just because it's more expensive. The refrigerant we're using now is more expensive. We have to add, and then we have to add more features, more wiring, more sensors.
like protectant stuff.
Yeah, it adds more cost to us. So
Sure.
guess what it does? Adds more cost to the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Anybody else got a word that summarizes their year?
sorry, I went too far.
That's okay.
Oh, you're
You're good.
I would say anxiety.
Okay.
So the place where I work, isn't it interesting how it all so far everything's about work? Place where I work is having a tough year financially.
Yep.
And lots of people have lost their position and
I wonder who one of those was.
Well, I wasn't gonna say who anyone was, but and it seems to happen every 6 months.
Yeah.
And 6 months starts in January, the next 6 months. So, yeah. So and the last 6 months and the 6 months before, and it's just
Yeah.
been watching it happen. And I've got the primary income in my family, so it becomes a big deal if that happens. So.
Yeah.
So anxiety. Plus, I've got kids. One of them is
Oh.
We're trying to get one ready to launch, and
Yeah.
she's not interested in it. So, which I guess she's got it pretty cushy, so it makes sense. But
Yeah.
um,
I get that, man. And real quick, I ain't trying to but I kind of feel the pressure. Like you said, I don't want to bring it up, but financially, our company's kind of struggling. We're not laying off people quite as a frequent basis, but at the same time, if we can't produce units because of this, if we can't make units, then there ain't people working. So, I kind of feel the pressure as well. So that's something that sucks. I hate that people have to live like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
The unknown.
yeah,
Very
no,
scary.
it is scary,
Mm-hmm.
super scary.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll go because it kind of leads into, not to skip you, Justin, but it leads into what Kyle was saying, because my answer was going to be related to that, Kyle. That's why I was like, okay with just saying it. I was one of the people that was part of the last group to be let go at said place. And so my year has been, even though that kind of happened mid-year, I would say my word is change, I guess, because that happening kind of forced me to evaluate what I was doing in my life and what I wanted to do next when I grew up again. And so it forced me to figure that out and create a new path for myself. And I have a new path, and I'm excited about it. So it had its silver linings.
Yeah,
so even
for
though
sure.
there was a lot of change that happened, there's also a lot of change for good that's happening too as a result of it.
Yeah.
So that's my word.
Nice.
And I also think about my friends that are still at this place
Yeah.
that, I worry about them and their
Living on the
livelihoods
edge,
because
not
I know
knowing.
how scary it
Yeah.
is to
Right,
not
yeah.
know.
That's super scary,
Mhm.
man. Especially, when you know, like, I'm not trying to, like, when you're the most, like, your income's based upon what you make.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it, not that it's not hard, it's always hard, but then that puts an added weight to it. It's like, I know if something doesn't happen, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just crazy, man. It just, like I said, it sucks that people have to go to work. Like, we have a lady at work that she does. So we also sell solar where I'm at. That's dying. And there's a lady that they have to, like, design layouts, And I had a guy at work tell me she's had her desk cleaned off for a couple months now because she's, like, just waiting to be laid off. I was like, man, someone needs to tell her that's not going to happen, or something.
But what a way to live.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
You
That's
know?
a terrible way to live.
Just in constant stress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just not
Worry.
knowing, like, so much so that you've taken all of your personal items from work and took them home
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, oh, I'll show up one day and they'll be like, hey, clean your desk off.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what's worse, though. Having an idea and preparing for that, like mentally, or having what happened to me and just be bombarded one day and told you're gone
Yeah.
and you're shut off after
Yeah.
this call. Like, that was traumatizing.
Yeah, that
yeah.
is a tough one because it's like, do you want to be put down quickly and
Mhm.
unexpectedly, or
want to
do
be
you
prepared.
want to have somebody, coming at you and you're like,
Mhm.
maybe I can fight it, but you really
Yeah,
can't.
Yeah.
yeah.
One maybe gives you a little bit more sense of control.
Yeah.
And I think that
Yeah.
that's what we try to seek
Yeah.
in this
Mhm.
life
Control.
is
Absolutely.
some sort of control. So it's like,
Yep.
oh, if I pack up early, then it was my choice to leave with dignity.
Yeah, I
versus, like,
knew it.
at the end of
Yeah.
the day, they cut you.
Yeah.
Or I'm
That's-
working to find somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
kind of knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
But whenever
Exactly.
you're just, throwing out with the trash,
Yeah.
like,
That's what it makes
you're
you
not
feel
even
like
prepared.
whenever you show
Right.
up to work on Monday and you're like, hey, guess what? You ain't got a job no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That hurts
You
way
wa-
more than
Right.
I like your perspective, Justin, where you're like, you know what, I feel as humans, and this is kind of just our inherent thing, is we want to control. Like we don't get to a lot of times. Like, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but we want to control kind of like what we're doing. We get to a little bit, but a lot of times, like stuff like that, internal, we can't control that, and we really want to. Everybody wants to control like what's going on in their life. So as soon as you feel like you lost that sense of control, it puts you in a different spot. But like you said, if you're prepared for it, I feel like you are kind of controlling it a little bit more than
I think so too.
the other way. So
Yeah,
I
think
do
that's
like
why
that
it was
perspective.
so hard for me
I
Yeah.
also
because
find
I'm a
it
control person.
I also find it unusual that industries, companies, whatever, corporations can fire you without a 2 weeks notice, but
Yeah.
they want you to give a 2 weeks notice
to
to
take
be
a day
replaced.
to either take a day off, to be replaced, or
Yeah.
anything like that, because they don't look at you as a person.
off. No.
Mm-hmm.
They
You're a
don't even
number.
look at you as an asset.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the issue that I've always had is how can I show up and not know if I'm going to have a job?
Yeah.
But if I want to seek other opportunities in a healthy manner, I need to give you a 2 weeks
Yeah, I'm
notice,
frowned
because
upon.
if I just walk out, you're going to just totally trash
Exactly.
me
Yeah.
if they ask where I worked previously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, he just walks out. And it's like, well, no, I found a better job.
Yeah.
I just saw you fired
Yeah.
somebody and
Yeah.
you had them replaced the next day
Yeah.
because I bet 2 weeks ago you started looking for a
Yeah,
replacement for
exactly.
them. You
Yeah.
put out that bid for that contract, you put out that job description, and you started seeking somebody weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
person only had a day to prepare
Well,
for that mentally.
And that
so-
courtesy isn't reciprocated.
Yeah.
Ever.
No,
Ever.
and it's like even if you are somebody like me, like I'm never actively looking for a better job, but if a better job comes my way or I can apply for one, guess what I'm going to do?
Right. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you go to like most of the time, we all know when you go to apply for a job, you have to have references. You got to have, you got to have some like background information about what you're doing. And a lot of the times I like to do current where I'm working at, right? So if I go to my boss now and say, hey, I'm applying for this and I need your,
Yep.
can I put you down as a reference? Dude, a lot of the times they're gonna be like, what? Why are you looking for a better, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like,
Right.
even like trying to do better for yourself, you're gonna be like frowned upon. So it's like,
Because they're going to assume that you're trying to get out.
Mhm.
Right.
well,
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
That-
you're not trying to,
but
I mean,
you're not necessarily trying, but
I get
they're
you.
going to assume it.
Yeah.
but that's that's my thing is like, people need to understand like some things aren't about you, it's about me. And I ain't trying to be selfish, but just because I'm leaving you as a company doesn't mean you're a shitty company.
Right.
This
Yeah.
company's willing to pay me $3 more per hour.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
wish
And
there
I got
was
a
more
family to take care of.
managers that viewed it as you're just trying to better yourself for your family.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
And
because they should just want you
yeah,
to grow.
that's that like no offense, but that's always the way I look at it. It's like I'm
Yeah.
always trying to better myself. So if I do something like that, it ain't because I'm downgrading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think
You know?
that the
Right.
good managers can even they can understand that,
Yeah.
and also they don't want to invest a bunch of time training and
exactly. It's expensive for
it-
them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if they think that you're one step out, even whether you get this one job or not, or gosh, if they help you get this job by giving you a good reference, that's creating more work on them.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to what is it in for them? How
Give
does
me
it-
more money.
How does well
Compensate
but
me
they
better.
don't always have the ability to do that.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at with my company is like, I'm not saying I'm the best work in the world, but I do a lot more than I'm supposed to, and that's all I've ever asked to be. I don't want more than I just like deserve. Don't get me wrong. I ain't one of those kids that think, oh, I need to be making a certain amount of money. But as people, we inherently want what we think we're worth.
Yeah,
now,
sure.
everybody's
Oh, yeah.
self-worth's a little different, or what they think,
Mhm.
and that's fine. But when you don't get that, it kind of makes you feel like less of a person,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, if I break my back for you, pay me enough to fix my fucking back.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's all I'm
You know,
asking for.
like-
I'm not asking to make CEO money. I'm asking pay me
Yeah.
for what I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's like I just had my eval. So that's kind of like so that's one of the things I was like, you're gonna offer this to me, and that's fine. I get it. Like where we're at, I get it. But at the same time, like I'm still not compensated for what you guys asked me to do above and beyond. And you know what? I might bitch a lot as a person, and actually I do bitch a lot at work. But guess what I do? I get the job done. I do it. I'll bitch about it. Don't get me wrong. You're going to hear it, and they all know, and that's why they don't talk to me as much. But if they come and ask me to do something, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to let you know how I feel about it. and I don't feel like that should be a bad thing.
No, man.
I'm casual about
I
it.
love
though.
that. Yeah. I love that, dude. Like, people should know, like, at my job, I do a lot of hiring. I do a lot of contract work. So it's
Yeah.
like the people that I'm working with, I want to be able to communicate with them. Like we just recently moved the minimum wage for our company from like, it was at like 17 or 18. We moved it up to 25. So whether
That's a
you-
big jump.
So like, yeah.
Of course, he does live in California, folks.
No, yeah, and exactly.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to live.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so there's all these adjustments that we've
Yep.
made. And I feel like that is the way that you both tell somebody that they matter and also
Mhm.
tell them, get your shit together.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
I'm
both,
paying you
yes.
a livable wage and you're sweeping floors.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to do more than sweep floors now,
Yeah.
but it's also going to better you. And
Exactly.
then whenever
Mhm.
you move on, I will give you that good recommendation
Right.
because that isn't just, oh man, I'm losing an employee.
Yeah.
It's no, I get to show the world that we're creating badass workers,
And better
Mhm.
people, yes.
better
Mhm.
people.
See,
you know, you
and-
go to another company and we're going to plant a seed
It's a
in that company.
representation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man. And
Yeah.
honestly, Justin, I wish more people that was in your position that hired and fired, whatever, had that thought process. Because if more people had that thought process, I don't think we would be having a lot of the issues we're having because people would look at it all. It's all about your mindset and how you look at things. And if you're looking at it as like, all right, this guy, we created a good ass worker, and this guy's going to be able to better himself. Well, you know what? Good. Go better yourself. I want you to. But guess what else we're going to do? We're going to make another badass worker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the mindset you need to have instead of like what you were saying, Kyle, is, oh, we got to I mean, I get it. It takes more time and effort, and it costs more money to train somebody. But if you go about it that mindset, it's like, well, we're about to make the next Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? We're about to make the next badass, and you just keep flowing. You know, I feel like that's a healthier way of looking at it.
You're talking about the high road,
Yeah,
and what I'm describing is the path of least resistance.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's
Which
the
is
path
often in reality.
that's the path that most people are going to take, and I don't fault them for that. That's probably a lot of times maybe the best way to take. I don't know, but what I'm saying is, I just think if you had just had a different mind, you could take that path and have a different
It would
mindset.
change the way the employees are
Exactly.
view themselves.
Just make them
too,
feel
and the
more worth-
company. Yeah.
It's well, we call it's just having the employees have more skin in the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Another thing that we did is, we match our employees' 401k up to 4%.
Mhm.
And, we have all these healthcare plans, options to where you don't even have to sign on to a full healthcare plan. You can just do like an a la carte and just say, I just want to be able to get ambulance rides. I just want to be able to get insurance for massive, injuries, this and
Yeah.
that. Like literal, like I lost a limb.
Like
kinda.
Yeah.
ER.
Yeah, like it's so that it's like I'm not gonna be a stitches kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home, put a Band-Aid on it, staple it, something weird like people
Yeah.
do what they do,
Glue
yeah.
and
Not go to the doctor for every little
exactly.
thing.
And we
Uh-huh.
want to be able to honor people's right to not
choose.
want to do that because they want to put their money back in their pocket. And we also have other programs that are set aside so that you can actually just put money into a fund that can then be used for any emergency.
Mhm.
So just it's just a little nest egg that you can set aside and it can register as your insurance. It's really cool stuff. And this is stuff that I get to teach my employees as like, grown folks that have like, some of them have been in prison, some of them have just been homeless, some of them, just all these dudes and ladies that have been through all this shit. And we're able to bring them into our company from day one. They're going to be more informed.
Yep.
And that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, I'm more than happy to send you on your way to a
Mhm.
better spot because I'm confident in my ability, like you said, to
Yeah.
build, even
The
if it's
next
not
guy.
going to be the next
Mhm.
Jordan,
I'm sorry, that's
I'm
a high level, but you know what I mean.
Hey, but we got some Kobe's out there.
Yes.
We got some Iversons. We got some
Yeah.
really good talent.
Yep.
And people just need to be able to access that through having a job that asks you to do more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to get off topic, but I have one question to ask Justin real quick.
Well, he still needs to answer his summary
I
word.
just, I know, but
You don't want to get off topic. We got off topic, man.
Mhm.
I know.
A long time ago,
I
probably,
just
yeah.
do want to ask this. You mentioned about hiring homeless people and troubled people.
Yeah.
How many of those people become real good people?
they were great people to begin with.
Exactly.
It's given them that opportunity. And yeah, man, you know, obviously I wouldn't drop any names, but you know, one of my homies, he's been through it, and you know, he still has his struggles.
Yep.
But the dude shows up.
Okay.
He's never been able to have mental health care like he has now.
Exactly.
He can take time off of work. He has scheduled
Okay.
appointments with his therapist.
Yeah.
Like he's
getting
a,
resources
Yeah.
he wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
and this is your classic, like, you know, 30-something white male
Yeah.
who's just usually like ignored
Yeah.
and is now like getting that access
Yeah.
to where it's like he now knows who he has potential
Yeah.
to be, because
Yep.
a lot of people don't know their potential
Yep.
until they have somebody be like, bro, like, I've seen you on your good days.
Yeah.
Let's get you on that
Yeah.
good track
More
because-
often.
Yeah.
Right?
more
Yeah.
often. Exactly. Because
Yeah.
we're not perfect. We're
Yeah,
not going to
no.
be batting 1,000.
Okay.
But it's like, homie, if
Yeah.
you can hit 1 out of every 3,
Yeah.
you're a fucking stud.
Yeah,
You
and,
know?
and that's what I wanted to get at. Is just real quick. It's just like the show is like there's people like you just give them a chance and
Yeah.
they could prove you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Prove
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Sorry.
It's okay.
Don't be sorry.
Right.
Justin, do you have a word that summarizes
Your
your
year.
year?
Back to it. I would say resiliency.
Yeah, I
our
like that.
Good word.
Our
I like that.
company. Thank you. Our company has been through some stuff. We had to battle to get our contracts renewed after they were kind of snatched up by. So we do contracting for the government. So we do like bike share programs. We do education programs, safety programs for kids, anything involving bicycles or pedestrian life. We teach people how to use the infrastructure like bike lanes, how to use crosswalks. We go to schools. Specifically, we'll partner with organizations that do outreach, and then we'll partner with them, donate bicycles, or give, you know, literally teaching kids how to ride bikes, because we think that by teaching people how to ride bikes, you give them access to physical health,
Yep.
access to their environment so they can go out and get jobs, experience new worlds. And also it's good for the environment.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a few less people that are driving 2 miles when you
Yep.
can just hop on a bike or walk.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's just teaching people how to do stuff like that. And so the local government that we work for, I don't know if I want to say the city because I don't know where this is going to be listed, but they decided to not release the bid as they normally do after contracts are up. It's like, okay, we're going to release the bid to the public so that local businesses can get an opportunity to, you know, be invested in from the city.
Yep.
And we're the only company that does this particular business. So by them releasing it, we would be easily the first people to get it. And we've been doing this job for 7 or 8 years, but never under a solid contract. They've always kept us under a year or 2 contract.
Just
So
like normal government bids.
So exactly. So while we're working, we're constantly renegotiating. It's like you're working to prove yourself while
Yeah.
you've already proven yourself.
Yeah.
And so
And still trying to be the best price.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And we go to other cities and they talk about 5-year contracts, 10-year contracts, you know, longer extended contracts after years and years of service.
After a relationship's established.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I say resiliency because they decided to take it in-house and they were planning on cutting our whole company, which is our main contract. And that would have been 25 to 30 people that would have lost their jobs.
Wow.
Exactly.
And this is right after this is right before we were going to plan on giving everybody that pay raise. So for me to be able to get through that, we ended up going to all these local businesses, all of these partners, and we got them to sign a letter of support. We took it to the city, and we were like, hey, we got a stack of letters from everybody from council members to local business partners to outreach programs. You know, all these people.
So you kind of made your own petition.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we just kind of pissed off the wrong people. Like these people have the heart. These people have the heart of the city.
Exactly.
And they're doing a job that they're not appreciated for, but they show up every day.
And they do it.
And that's the core. And so they were like, okay, our bad. We kind of jumped ahead.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. And what they decided to do is they signed us on for an additional 18 months while they renegotiate with us and release the bid.
Right.
So it's not just for us; it's for any other business who would also want a shot at that bid.
Yeah.
And and while that happened, we also were victims of arson. Somebody set our fleet of vehicles on fire.
Oh my gosh.
And so that was also a crazy and you know what? The reason why I say resiliency is because nobody flinched. None of these people flinched. People kept showing up. We had to start doing our work on bicycles. We had to send mechanics out on bicycles to do
Wow.
repairs because our shit got torched.
And they did it, right? They showed up and they did it.
And they showed up.
That's resilience.
Well,
bud.
that kind of proves your business motto.
Yeah,
there,
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Building-
That's what I'm
building-
saying. And that's
Building
why I keep,
Kobe's and Jordans, man.
I'm telling you, that's why I preach. I preach this to everybody that it's like if you invest in your employees, they have your fucking back.
They're going to invest in you.
They
That's
show
the
up.
point.
They show up. They
Yeah.
care. They're dedicated. And to me, that's why I love what I do.
Yeah.
That's
and
why
to
I
have your
man.
people
continue doing
running
what I
on
do.
bikes that you're
Yeah.
encouraging the community to use.
Yeah,
That's
Like,
even
yeah.
better. Like, look,
That is
listen.
a message in itself,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We'll even do it if
Yeah.
we need to.
Right.
Yeah. So that, along with a million other things, is what really makes me think
Yeah.
about resiliency.
Yeah,
That's
dude. Those are
good.
two awesome resilient stories, and I'm glad
For sure.
that you guys seem to being able to battle through that.
Yo.
But that's the Justin I know.
Oh, shut up.
I'm about to move to LA. I don't want to work for you.
We got a job for you, bro. I'm telling you, man. Got you.
So,
How well do you ride a bike?
I've been working on bikes, riding bikes for a long time. I used to be real big in BMX when I was a kid.
oh, did
That was a
you,
partial knee replacement.
did you
ago.
take
Actually,
it off some nice jumps?
Oh man, I took some good jumps. Good jumps.
It just makes me think of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah,
Oh.
sweet jumps. Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle,
I know.
just so you know.
No, you can't give it away
All
because
right, you gotta have to listen to
that,
the
that
next.
podcast has not aired yet.
All right, let's move on.
So, other than trying to take your bike off of some sweet jumps, is there another thing that you thought you'd accomplish this year but didn't?
So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go from crying. I'm about to cry because I went from that shit. No, well, there was one thing we kind of accomplished it, but we didn't get it fully there. So I'll say this.
It doesn't have to be work related.
Yeah. Well, this is not work
We
related.
keep getting on the work.
No, this is
thing.
my personal
Okay,
relationship with myself. No, so we've been on the process. So my father-in-law found this good deal on a house, but we had to move said house off said property to our property. So it was kind of a challenge.
Mhm.
And I was hoping to be further. Like we got it moved and on our property, but I was hoping to be further done with it, further along, I guess. So I can kind of answer that in halfway. Like we kind of got it done, but I thought by now we'd be further along with it. So that's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, we're getting there, and it's just one
Just
chunk
one
at a
step.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
So that'd be my thing. It's like I thought we would be further along with the progression of that place at my said
Yeah.
property. So
Okay.
that's mine.
What about you, Justin? Is there something you thought that you would accomplish this year but didn't quite make it?
I guess I would
And why is it
say
Netflix's fault?
I would.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Okay,
Real quick, I didn't
okay,
get to do the Netflix part. Go back to Netflix.
Why is it Netflix's fault that you didn't
It's
get your house
Netflix's
done,
fault because I
Etch?
tuned into the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, and it kept fucking buffering. That's why it's their fault. And they expect to have Christmas games on. That's their fault. They need to do Netflix. You are the OG of all the streaming movie companies. Be better. Be better.
I think they'll figure it
Oh
out
my
because
God.
You think dude? If they
Listen.
don't, I'll cancel my $11 membership.
Amazon's been airing games for years now, right? And they can do it. They air.
Well, Amazon is up. Did you not know what, Kyle? You know what Amazon is, right?
yes.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Yes.
Netflix is like a few billion.
But they can do it. They can.
Well, then why? Okay, real quick. Sorry. Why didn't they? For
I'm here for the smoke.
Did they not think that the Tyson fight would be more of a draw, and they failed us all.
They
And I'm no pun intended with the rhyming.
they thought that they had enough infrastructure and they didn't, and so they had a chance to learn. So they're going to do.
You think
better.
they'll fix it?
I think it'll.
Dude,
at
you're
least be
too
better.
fucking. I like your optimism,
I am-
but it's way too high.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Okay,
I
before
answered
we're
the
off on
Netflix part.
another
Yeah, go ahead.
tangent.
Sorry, I just want to answer the Netflix part.
Just
I totally forgot what.
what's something that you
I'm
thought
sorry.
that you would accomplish but didn't quite make it for this year?
Oh, something I thought I was gonna accomplish. I didn't get my passport. I kept telling myself that was just something I wanted to do this year,
Uh-huh.
and I did not do it. I didn't get around to doing it. And I guess if I could blame it on Netflix, it'd be for all their quality programming. And it kept me really busy. And it kept me really
Netflix,
busy.
please sponsor us.
Shout out to Netflix. You sponsor all that shit ass media. You can cover us, bro. Like, I've seen some really wild stuff with a lot of money thrown at it. And like you can like sponsor us with like food, dog. Like we're simple, really
Yeah.
good people. Like just hook us up.
Cheez-Its.
Hey, I could do some Cheez-Its. I could do some
The
some
extra
Cheetos,
cheesy-
some
extra cheesy
Cheetos
Cheez-Its.
crunchers,
Yeah.
the Cheetos, the crunchy style
Yes.
Cheetos with the jalapeno.
Yeah.
Not
Oh.
flaming hot. I don't even
Just
want to
the
get into that
jalapeno.
discussion, but flaming hot's not a flavor. That's a temperature. You know what I'm saying? Like jalapeno is
Is a flavor.
a flavor.
Yeah.
Even if it's artificial as
It's a
shit,
temperature.
it is an actual,
It's an actual
flavor.
flavor.
So
Oh, man.
for all the kids out there, they're setting their buttholes on fire and they need to chill. Eat some good food. Stop eating these flaming hots and stop throwing your wrappers in my damn yard.
You just blew my mind with
No,
the
I'm
temperature
done.
thing.
All the
You're right.
Takis?
No, the Takis, bro. What's up with these? Like
I don't
that's
get it.
I tried them and I'm like, oh, this is good for like once a year when you
Yeah.
feel like dancing on an ulcer. You know, when you're like, do I want to really blow my asshole
Shit
out?
fire,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. But I see kids eating this like every day, and
I
I'm like,
know.
what are
I
you
feel like-
made of?
I feel like Kyle.
What are you made of?
Titanium.
Are you a
Right.
fan, Kyle? You like them?
No, but I'm gonna defend the name Flaming Hot.
You don't have to be a devil's advocate in this podcast.
I'm just naturally that.
All
Don't
right,
worry
look,
about it.
why? Why should I burn my asshole? Tell me.
Well, I'm just defending the name Flaming Hot.
Okay, that's different. That's different.
Okay.
I'm just defending the name Flaming Hot. They don't actually taste like anything. This Flaming Hot Cheetos taste like nothing. It's just
Fire.
hot in your mouth.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
They
a
don't even
flavor.
have a cheese flavor.
Yeah,
Right.
hot
they're,
in your
they're
ass
that
too.
bad
Yeah.
that what they're telling you is if you eat these, there's no flavor. It's just
just a
flaming
temperature.
hot.
Yeah,
That is, I guess
he's
that's-
right. You're right.
I
Temperature.
guess that's still just confusing to me. I guess it's just confusing to me that you're going into that
Yeah.
with that knowledge. In
It's
your,
like, hey,
yeah.
this tastes like straight garbage, but it'll burn the fuck out of your mouth. You'll
Yeah.
sweat real bad, and your shit will burn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What's pleasing about that?
Yeah.
I
it's
guess I
not.
thought
Let's
somebody.
let's
I-
elaborate on that.
No.
Right.
There's no reason to eat these things other than
right.
other than people were like, well, I can eat this really hot shit. And
Okay.
so
Cool.
That
you know,
yes.
it-
Or
It's
if
like-
you
it's-
really want to torture yourself
Yeah.
with a cleanse.
Film me, yeah. Film when you're shitting and when
Hey.
your ass is like,
I'm a kid of the '90s. We had warheads. They
Yeah.
weren't
Oh.
exactly the most decadent candy out
No.
there,
I
but
love warheads,
everybody
by the way.
wanted to see how sour you could go.
Yeah.
You know, so I think
Yeah.
that is, to be fair, yes, I remember that.
We had the not the Red Hots, but what were the Fireball things too? The candies that were kind of like jawbreakers. but they
the
were,
hot jawbreaker. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
what was
Red
that
I think it
called?
might. I think it
No.
might have been a fireball. They might have been.
Fireball. Okay.
I think
cinnamon
Yeah, I
something?
think
Yeah.
the fire. I think that might. Yeah, something like that. I know
But
what you're
those
talking
things
about.
are. Yeah, those
Yeah,
things are pretty
you
gnarly.
couldn't
Yeah.
really bite into it because it was like a jolly.
No, so you just had to deal
like
with
a
it.
You just had to
jawbreaker.
suck
But
on
it was, yeah. And your mouth
remember-
will all be all red.
Yo, I remember pools of drool under people from them just letting it drop out.
How's
just
that pleasing? By the
just
way?
like a fountain, just a nasty
Red.
fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not big on drooling myself, but I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Cinnamon.
You got that Kool-Aid mustache with a ring on the collar of your shirt. It's like, man, this kid.
You better
this
not
kid
wear-
Needs, this kid
Don't
needs
wear a
bath.
white shirt.
Right, exactly.
And the candy necklace ring too.
Oh my
around
God.
Hey, first
around
off,
the
my
neck.
daughter loves those. Watch what you say. You might offend a
I'm
Etch
not
in
saying
here.
they're bad. I'm saying that we all walked around with like weird ass
Yeah.
colors from candy
And they're
on
terrible.
our
Yeah.
close.
They're absolutely terrible. I was
Oh,
just trying
no, yeah.
They're
They
terrible.
are terrible.
Have you
I
guys
told my-
done that? Have you
They're
eaten
flavored
like your
chalk.
childhood candies?
Yes,
Yeah, they're horrible.
She got a necklace, and I was like,
Super
I'm gonna eat one of
disappointing.
these, and I was
Wild.
like, I ate it. I was like, yeah, you're not eating this shit. This is garbage.
Yeah.
I don't even like Hershey's chocolate anymore, really, which I loved as a kid.
Oh, dark chocolate or regular chocolate?
Special dark is okay,
Okay, well,
but compared to chocolate from like
90s
places who
90s
put,
special dark.
I'll
com-
still eat it, but it's more waxy now.
it's so waxy.
There's
It's
something
garbage.
weird. Yeah, there's some
It's
weird.
different.
It's
You're right. It's a little
Texture.
waxy.
But when I was a kid and I got especially if I got a full size Hershey's chocolate bar, that would my whole day was
You was like
just
Charlie.
fantastic.
He was like Charlie with the golden fucking
I
tail.
was.
Yeah, just running down the street.
I have specific
what I got.
memories. I would go with my grandmother to get the mail at the post office, and next to it was a convenience store, Cumberland Farms, called Cumbies by the locals. And she would go in and get the mail. And when I was old enough where she would let me run into Cumbies and get a Hershey's bar for, I don't know, it was like 50 cents back
Yeah,
then.
Yeah.
it's like fucking $7 now.
And then I would be eating
Down
that,
payment.
eating that on the way home, and I would just, yeah,
Just
that's
be
exactly
in
right.
Heaven.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 inches of snow, by the way, because
Sunshine
he
and
grew up in
rainbow.
Maine, so it's
Sunshine and
always
rainbow.
snow down there. It's cold as shit. Their summers are like fucking 32.
And Kyle's like, sunshine and lollipop.
Yeah,
right.
yes.
Even though I'm in 12 foot of snow.
That's right.
Speaking of the devil, that's real quick. I wish I could go to Maine, man.
You
It's
should
pretty.
go. It's a great
Pretty.
place to visit,
I've been.
but
Well, if I-
but I wouldn't want to live there.
Well, if I win a bunch of money, I want to take you with me
Again.
because you're a local.
So, sorry. You guys got me laughing too hard.
Sorry.
So, Kyle, what's
What
one-
was the question?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Let's bring it back around. What's one thing you thought you'd accomplish but didn't quite make it this year?
And why is it Netflix's fault?
And why?
Well,
is it
first, let me
Netflix's
just
fault?
tell you, it's not Netflix's fault.
But can we bitch about, just for a second, the Mike Tyson fight? Bitch about it.
No, I think you did that.
This man was
already.
hurt. This
It's
man, I don't know if he lost money or just respect for the system, but this man is
lost a lot.
broken.
Let's
This
just
man
say
is
money.
broken.
Listen. I don't know why all y'all were trying to watch that fight. You're talking about an old ass Mike Tyson against a younger guy.
We had hopes. We had hopes. We thought Mike Tyson could knock this motherfucker out.
There was no chance.
He didn't want to.
There was no chance.
He could have. There's
Oh yeah. It
real
was
quick.
rigged.
There's
It
a
was rigged.
couple. No, there was a couple shots that he could have unloaded on him, and he didn't.
because it was rigged. I heard right.
Oh, it's definitely rigged.
Yeah. Right.
Dude. You don't show your ass on Netflix to 400,000 people, 400 million people,
Oh,
whatever.
man.
Do you see Mike Tyson? Real quick. Mike Tyson showed his ass on Netflix. Go ahead. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, it's not Netflix's fault. It's HBO Max's fault.
Okay. Oh, even better.
Whoa.
Even better.
Whoa.
Even better. Let's go. Let's go.
With a little bit of Peacock and Paramount Plus, which, by the way, can stream football games without a problem also, and they're much smaller than Netflix.
Yeah, fuck Netflix.
I've got these, this is lame, but I've got burning bushes around the back of my house, and every couple of years you need to cut them because they get massively tall.
Mhm.
And this is like year 3 for every couple of years. And I didn't do it still
So why is that lame? Real quick, why is that lame?
because I didn't take
Well,
care
hey,
of my
you know what?
property like I
You
should
didn't
have.
trim your bush.
I would come and trim, dude. Kyle, I'll trim your bush anytime you want me to.
I was wondering when somebody was going to talk about his flaming bush. But
I would trim your flaming bush, and you have friends.
Here's
I
the-
have a good weed eater. I'll come and weed eat that shit. I'll flame your
dude,
bush.
he will eat that bush up.
I'll flame it. Sorry.
No, it's good because I knew it was going to go there, and that's why I picked it.
That's what I like, Kyle. You know, he sets me up for success.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I thought that Jesi would go there first, and she did.
Right, right. We're all pointing at each other. It's like, wait a minute. Somebody
real
has no
culprit?
Somebody has no fingers on them. Yeah.
Not it.
Right.
But if you're ever bored and want to come cut those
you want to trim his bushes,
flaming bushes in my backyard,
Kyle, give me your address. I'll come and trim your bushes anytime. I'm serious. Give me your address. I got a
go
weed
trim
eater.
the bush at his back door, would you?
I've heard he needs that trim too. I will do that. It's going to cost you a little bit more than your normal bushes, which are free. So I'll do your shit for free, but that I will have to charge.
well, we'll talk after the podcast.
That back bush.
They do make wax
It gets out of
strips.
control.
And
It gets wild.
I'm good with pulling
It's
wax
wild back
strips.
there. It's wild back there.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
There's a reason why I have to go back for multiple wipes. It's like you walk around and you're like, man, I knew I wiped my ass good enough, and you go
got
back
them
and like, then,
dingleberries?
oh, any male that has ass hair, they don't want to talk about it, but I'm about to be real quick. You have to go back and wipe again once it gets a little bit lubed up from your ass sweat. You know what I'm saying? You don't quite get
Get a bidet. Get a bidet.
dude.
They got
That's
dude
what
wipes.
I needed to get. That's what Branson
bidet.
said.
They
Yeah.
got dude wipes for that.
Oh, dude wipes are the best.
Are those okay for the environment though?
All right, we're
They
not
are-
talking about
They
the
are
fucking.
flushable.
They're flushable, but are they like? Because
They-
I've heard that some of these things that are flushable are just like, oh, you're done dealing with it. Like that's what flushable means. It's like, oh, that shit ain't on you anymore. Now it's on Mother
All
Nature
right.
to take care of that
Hey,
shit.
Justin, this
I know
ain't this
the
ain't
ones
like
that
sock.
we use. They seem like they would be biodegradable
Are
because
they?
Yeah.
don't stay together.
Okay.
No,
good.
yeah. If you
So they
put
don't
one,
stay together. So when you wipe your ass, you're like, God damn it! You're supposed to dissolve in the toilet, not
dude,
my
I was
hand.
just gonna say the last piece of ass I've touched was when I used a dude wipe, and it was my own ass. No,
Oh,
to
man.
wrap it up, yes, I do need a bidet. Sorry.
We derailed pretty good on that one.
Did you seriously? Did you expect anything different?
No, and I love it. I had to think about my answer while I was listening to all of you because I was not prepared.
And we didn't help it.
Right.
And I can blame Netflix for this.
Good,
Because
that's good.
Why would I take accountability?
Fuck Netflix.
I wish that I had done more with my painting this year.
Okay.
Like I enjoy painting, but I was in such a funk, I think, most of this year that I just
From work, right?
Yeah.
it was the work stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly. And family things too.
Yeah.
We lost our pets this year. You know,
Oh,
it's just a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot, dude.
God
It's
damn.
been a lot this year. So
You said pets
um,
plural, right?
Yeah,
yeah, we
us
lost our
too.
dog and our cat within a few months of each other. Yeah.
And they've been around
I'm
for
sorry.
a while, so
Yeah,
yeah, that
Yeah, I'm
sucks.
sorry to hear
The
that.
cat was 16, the dog was 14.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
they
kids,
live. They live.
The
Then
kids
That's-
grew up with them, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
sorry to hear that as well.
Thanks. But and then losing my job, like it's been a whole
It's been a whole
year.
thing.
It's been a whole year.
A whole thing.
Yeah, and so I just haven't been in the same mindset as I normally would be. So I wish that I had done more with my painting because it actually does help me like release stress.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I watch TV instead. Thank you, Netflix.
Well, I honestly feel like
Netflix's fault.
painting. I feel like unless you're like Van Gogh, painting is like a positive thing. Like if you're like sad, you don't. If you're gonna paint sad, you're gonna probably paint some like crazy sad looking shit, right? You don't seem like that kind of person. So
No.
I feel like you're gonna be painting like you're gonna be like Bob Ross. Like, we're gonna put a little bit of texture on our trees here.
Oh, happy trees?
Happy
I do
trees,
have
happy
a very
me.
Bob Ross approach.
Yeah,
to
and
my
that's
painting, yeah.
and I know that's great. But what I'm saying is, I think some of that, I think you need positivity to paint. And this year, you're gonna paint a shit ton because it's gonna be a
Thanks.
good year for you,
Thanks.
Yeah.
for all of us.
How long have you been painting, by the way?
So I started like probably 6-7 years ago, something like that. I never like painted growing up. Really, I always drew with like pencil drawings.
Yeah,
And
So you're already artsy.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted to try painting, so I got some canvases, kind of tried some things out. Got some paint by numbers just to play
Yeah.
with color and see how things, play together with changing.
adding a little bit of this,
yeah,
adding a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think
And,
that's
Dope.
a crucial part of painting.
Yeah. And then I started, thinking of pieces that like family members might like and just kind of started painting things.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I freehand mostly. I look off of pictures sometimes, and yeah, I've done several things, and I enjoy it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it like you said, Etch, it would be difficult for me to paint when I'm in a mood.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and no offense, I'm not like trying to like be a negative person, but I feel like a lot of times art, like there's a there's a select few that can do art in a negative aspect, right? To me, I mean, this is from me. I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like art is more of a positivity. Like, let's, you know what I mean? And especially you, I know you're a positive person. So
Mhm.
if you're kind of in a funk, it's kind of probably hard to do art.
Yeah, I
You know
feel
what I
like
mean?
there's artists. I know that there's artists out there that can express all of their feelings through
Yeah.
art, and I think that's amazing. I don't go there.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
not my place.
Well,
It's a
for
rough,
art.
it's really vulnerable place to go
Yeah.
to, because when you look at like musicians,
yeah.
you know, you can be like Mr. Happy Day and, you know,
Mhm.
just strumming on a guitar and,
Mhm.
you know, singing about sunshine and lollipops or whatnot.
Sure.
or you can be
Sunshine
like,
and
Lollipops.
lollipops.
Yeah.
or you can, you know, go the route of, you know, like Marilyn Manson
Yeah.
or,
Mhm.
you know,
Dark.
some of the
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
you know, darker ends of hip hop or rap
Mhm.
or whatever, where it's like real street,
Yeah.
real pain,
Yeah.
real stories, you know, the
Mhm.
human experience.
Yeah.
And I think that some artists are like, because they're born in that, they
Yeah.
have no other,
Yeah.
like they don't see the light. Some of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
The light is fake.
Yeah, and that
So-
actually a lot of times when you're speaking, like I don't want to disrespect the different types of art because that can be real good art too. Like
Mhm.
as far as musical or whatever, like you know, you can go from a negative side of it and be real. Like it could be good and like it could like,
Yeah, yeah.
please the masses. So I'm not saying that, but at the same time, I feel like I know her. She's more of a positive person,
Mhm.
so like, you know what I mean? Like I
It
feel
wouldn't.
like
it wouldn't mesh with my personality.
you
to
ain't
have
an-
art like
you ain't
that.
a negative like I'm gonna paint somebody getting their throat slit by
No.
a sword tonight,
No,
and I'm gonna feel real good about it.
no.
You know,
I'm
you know,
painting
and
like
no disrespect because
Pokemon
That shit would be,
characters.
but real talk, that shit would be kind of metal though. Like if you can actually do that, like if you can actually paint that, like I can't paint or draw. So
oh, dude,
whether it
Me
was
either.
something extremely violent and visceral, or it was
I can barely
something
draw letters.
like a Pokemon, I'd be all like, "How did you put them squares
Yeah.
together like that?" God damn,
put those squares together.
I
like
was
that?
just I was just telling somebody this the other day that is like my ability to just draw a line. Just
Mhm.
draw a straight line. I'd be like staring at it 30, 40 times over. Like, how did I
don't
not?
feel like it's as straight as this shit.
Yeah. Like I'm
I
trying.
can't draw a straight line with a ruler, so
So that's my one thing. I can draw a real good straight line from carpentry, but I can't draw nothing else.
Like freehand stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah, if you hey, you should draw a toad right now. Like, hey, you should shut the fuck up because I can't.
why would you ask me to draw a toad? That's like
I'm sorry,
that's a tough shape. Like, let's be real.
dude.
Like,
I feel like you're right, dude. That is kind of. I feel like some people ask me to draw toads.
Well, leaning on the positive side that we're talking about.
Yeah, let's go positive.
What's one thing that went right? Even if it just was finding the perfect meme.
So no, Netflix is not involved because they did nothing right for me this year. You fucked up on the Mike Tyson fight, Netflix. No, if we're gonna go
dude,
positive,
you gotta go paint your feelings
Yeah.
about this Mike Tyson fight, man. Think
Yeah.
it'll
You know
help
what?
you out.
Once we clock out of this, because we're clocked in right now on this podcast.
You paint like Mike Tyson slitting his Jake Paul's throat and all that, you know.
Kyle, I've never
Get it-
got it.
get it
I've
out.
never
Get
received
it
that.
out.
I thought it was gonna be more like Etch slitting Netflix's throat somehow.
You know what?
that too.
They're still available. I can't go too far. They're still out there.
But what went right besides that?
So what went right is the year ended on, to me, like there's been I know I've been bitching. That's my natural type. For the people who don't know, I like bitching. But what's went well for me is the fact that I'm still able to go to work, right? I'm still able to support my family. Like I know I bitch a lot about the times, but you know, at the same time, I'm able to still support my family and all those things. And to me, that's important, right? I'm able to still do those things.
So you're still grateful for what you have.
Yeah, I'm still I bitch about it, but I am super grateful for what I got. And I'm not going to stop bitching about it because if you guys know
Because he
me,
doesn't want to.
No,
I,
right?
no, I just
exactly.
bitch about everything. I mean, it's my natural cause. I'm bitching.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I said, I'm able to still support my family. I still have a roof over my head. My daughter still's got food on her plate. You know what I mean? We still got lights in our house. Our heat's running. You know what I mean? Like, there could be a lot more shit that could be happening to me, but it ain't. And I get to go home to a house that's warm, a fucking wife that's fully fed, a daughter that's fully fed, and guess what? We got food for the next day and the next day. You know, and I'm not trying to brag because, trust me, I ain't that, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? From a week-to-week basis, I'm able to go home and we're all, as a family, be able to be taken care of. And that's what I'm appreciative of. And I don't know if that's where you went, but that's where I went.
I like it. That's good. It's nice.
Sorry.
It's very positive of you, Etch.
I'm not very positive, but I'm about to be right now.
What about you, Justin? What's one thing that went right?
Something that went right.
As opposed to left.
As opposed to left.
Hey,
That
what?
went right.
We can't say that.
I didn't mean it like that.
That's the way I took it. That's right.
I would say, besides experiencing like a relationship for the first time in a long time, I think just seeing a lot of people in love in general. My cousin just got married recently, and that was like really big deal for the family. I have a couple cousins that are either getting engaged or they're working on their first kid or their second. So there's just a lot of new birth and new life in my family. And I'm going to be also hosting our family reunion that we do every year out in Long Beach. So that's going to be cool.
Fucking
Nice.
yeah, dude.
So
Awesome.
that's going to be real fun to bring my family out there. And we've been doing this family reunion for like about 60 years. We've been doing it every year. We do it in a different city every year.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's like a very historical thing where like there's literally a president, vice president, secretary,
Wow.
treasurer.
Official.
Yeah, for the national, and then each city has a governor that makes their own board, and then we have to make bank accounts. There's money that gets transferred. There's all sorts of stuff. So I did bite off a little bit more than I could chew because I literally do all of that.
I don't believe you bought. I don't think you bought. You bit off any more than you could chew.
I appreciate that, man, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I am handling it.
I know you are because I know
love
that
doing it.
Justin is gonna Look, folks, you don't know the Justin I know. The Justin I know is gonna handle this shit. He's gonna wrap it up, and I know it's gonna be hard work, bro. I know.
It is.
That's so
It
much
is.
more
You know what?
official than my family reunions
Yeah.
where we're like, where are we going to have a picnic at?
Yeah,
Patriots Park.
What pavilion park are we going
Right.
to?
That was
Right.
mine.
Seriously, no, a lot of my friends tell me that. They're like, wait, how many years have you been doing this? And it's like, yeah, in order to have it last that long, you have to have
Yeah.
All
board,
the
you have to
things in
have a
place.
board member. You
Yep.
have to have legacy that's built in. You have to and it's a weekend too. So it's not necessarily just one day. It's, Monday
It's an
we
event.
show up. It's an event.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's and
Yeah.
I honestly party harder with my cousins than I would with
I feel
anybody
that.
else because it's like
And you
you're
should.
in this safe
That
you're in
should
this safe
be how it
group.
is.
Yeah, man. And when you love your family, it just hits different.
Oh, yeah.
And
I like to party with my family, too.
yeah, it really is. When you love your family and you genuinely want to be around them,
You trust them.
you trust them. It's just a good time. You die for these people. You go to war for them. And there's just not a lot of people that you can really just do that for
Yeah.
or do that
Just
with.
be free with.
Yeah.
And so, so whenever it comes, I suggest anybody get a family reunion going. It doesn't have to be anything as fancy as what I'm talking about or complex, but just be around people that give a fuck.
Yep.
Honestly, because a
I
lot of
agree.
times it's
I
not
fucking agree.
because it's not easy to like build a network just on, your own, I work here, so I will connect
Yeah.
with these people. And then, nah, man, it's the family. That's
Yeah.
where it starts. That's where it ends. That's who
Yeah.
you need to go to.
Yeah.
We've
So-
kind of established that with our friend group, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Real
Whatever.
quick.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
Mhm.
like
They don't have to be
DNA. It just
DNA
needs
family,
to be
yeah.
like
Yeah.
your chosen family.
Yeah.
Because this could be adoption. This could be
Mhm.
married into or
Yeah.
whatever. It's just
Family.
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 Exactly. Like it's the people that you would do anything for,
Yeah.
and you need to build that up with them. So for a lot of my friends, it is like Friendsgiving. It's like
Yeah.
the Thanksgiving, because a lot of my friends, they're like, yeah, I'll do the one day whatever with my family, but this is the day that I truly
Yeah.
do my cooking.
Yeah.
You know, I don't bring food to my family thing, but to my friends thing,
Mhm.
I bring
I'll do
all
it,
my
yeah.
food.
Oh,
I
we
got
have
you.
all the foods.
We do gifts for our Christmas thing. We
Uh-huh.
do, and it's really beautiful
We
to
call
see
ours
people
Friends Give Miss. Because
Yes,
we do
yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas
Yeah.
together.
Exactly. And whenever you can celebrate like that with people,
Mm-hmm.
you can like multiple holidays
Yeah.
is whenever you're really like,
And we do it on our own schedule.
Yeah. And
Like
it
we're
works
having
out.
ours in January. Like
And that's another thing too, is that like all these traditions that we build up with our family are often so rigid that
Yeah.
we don't get any of this flexibility that your
Yeah.
friends
mhm.
who know you and
Will
know
give
your
you.
schedule,
Yeah.
they give
And
you
we
that
know they're
flexibility.
busy,
Yeah.
so,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, we just do what we want when we want.
Exactly. I do what I want.
That's right. Kyle, what's one thing that went right for you this year?
So at the start of this year, my oldest daughter was having some headaches,
Mm-hmm.
and
Like migraine.
like we didn't really know.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's got a a medical condition where she could grow tumors, and so headaches are a big deal.
Yeah.
And so we went through a whole bunch of tests and a whole bunch of medical crap, and in the end, we figured out how it's not tumors. Thank gosh.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Though she had to do an MRI, and she's like sensitive to sounds really
Yeah.
bad,
Yep.
and she took that like a champ. Like
Good.
It's
I was
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
super
Hell
proud
yeah.
of her for that. Me sitting out in the hallway thought it was really loud, you know.
Oh
but
yeah. Yeah.
And she was able to deal with it. Yeah. That's
she
awesome,
She
man.
dealt with
Good.
it great. Super proud of her for that. But anyway, we figured we got through all of this and we got her headaches under control, and that was part of the anxiety for the year, right? Is
Mhm.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I can only imagine, man.
and so yeah, we figured that out and they're under control, and she's doing well. School was a little hard for about a couple months because we kept checking things and taking her out
Yeah.
of school.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
But and then the
Well-
school was kind of cool on that too.
Cool.
So that was
Yeah.
helpful.
That's important, man.
What's her age again?
She's 16.
Oh man, so that's like
Yeah.
crucial,
Crucial
like,
school time.
crucial
Yeah, it
school
is.
time,
Mhm.
and just socializing
Mhm.
and just like not wanting to be ill
Mhm.
Yeah.
when you're
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah,
dealing
man.
with something like that, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. So and relatedly, it's just health in general. My mom also has been going through health issues. On the other side, she's
Yeah.
had seizures, which has never happened before. Spent like 16 days in a hospital. I got the call to go up there and see her because they weren't sure if it was just going to be the end.
Whoa.
Yeah. N-
But
And this is in Maine, right?
it's
Mhm.
in Wisconsin actually.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
she's
So
in
should
Wisconsin.
they're in Wisconsin now. Okay.
So
Wow.
So it's a trek. It's not.
Oh, hell
it's
yeah.
not like let's walk
oh yeah.
down the block
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get to my mom's house, right?
And I was very, very concerned. I mean, I
Yeah.
spent the day with her in the hospital, and I was very, very concerned. But they figured that out, and then she had a heart attack like a month and a half later,
Shortly after, yeah.
and so she had open heart surgery and got some stents in. And anyway, she had a hard year too, but she's doing pretty okay right now.
Okay.
They're still monitoring, but it just feels like an accomplishment to get through all of these medical.
Yeah, those are
Oh,
big.
yeah.
Those are big, fucking big,
Things.
awesome.
And
yeah.
we got to the end of the year, and everyone's here, and
Mhm.
Yep.
there's nothing, catastrophic, like waiting for the shoe to drop still,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
So it just feels like, hopefully, we talk about New Year's resolutions. Can't control it, but I'd love for next year to just not have any of that crap.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
knock on
So-
wood.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
man.
Even if it's a
Yeah.
new set of problems, just not the ones I've already conquered.
Yeah,
Exactly.
let's get a new set, right?
Right,
'Cause
yeah.
I can deal with this.
Yeah,
but-
problems will happen, but let's just not keep doing the same
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine would be health related too. My dad went into remission for prostate cancer, so that was
Yeah,
nice
that's
that he got through that. 'Cause
Yeah.
he had a stage 4 spot, and then the rest of them were stage 3. And
Oh,
we did
wow.
like radiation and stuff.
all right.
and Took him back down to normal levels. So
Wow.
he's doing much better, and so
Yeah.
that's a win, I guess, for this
Oh,
year
that's
out of all
for
the other
sure.
crap.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
We just got to keep building, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Next year ain't got to be the year. Dude, next year can be the best year for all of us. And I feel like the way we're setting up,
Or it could not. To me,
it could
it's
not. But honestly,
Whatever
the way,
will come.
and that's how
I'll
I am.
face
But I
it-
feel like we're
I'll
all
face it when it gets here.
we were all building up to having a good next year. Now, will it happen? I can't guarantee nothing.
Mhm.
But I feel like our positive attitude as a group of people, like I've heard all your stories,
Mhm.
but I feel like if we keep our same mindset, we keep grinding, because we're grinders, right? We're all grinders here. We're going to grind this fucking year out, and I think we're going to accomplish it. And if we do the same podcast next year in December, and we're all together, and we're talking about the last year, we're like, yeah, it was a badass year. That's what's going to happen.
It can
For
be
sure.
Yeah.
an update podcast.
Yes,
There you go. I like
that's what
that.
we're
I
gonna
like
do right
that.
now. If you don't mind, you're the host. Could we do an update? We're gonna do an update podcast at this time next year.
Okay, same people.
Same people.
Justin, you got to come to town.
He's gonna be here. It's
I'm
gonna be
always here for
Christmas.
I'm always
All
here
right.
for Christmas.
Christmas time is here. Time for toys and time for
For podcast.
cheer.
Sunshine and lollipops.
No. So we're gonna be here. So let's reflect on our next year. But I feel like
Okay.
all of us, I have a
See
good
where we're
feeling
at.
we're gonna
Yeah.
be
We're-
be in a better place.
We're giving
man.
ourselves a good foundation because, like you said,
We're too good.
it's not always guaranteed
No, but
to have a grand victory or
It's
great
not.
year. But
It's
when you
not.
set yourself up for success by having that positive mindset, giving yourself a foundation,
guess what's gonna
and
happen?
you know,
and being grateful.
and being grateful, then
Mhm.
yeah, everything usually tends to work out
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you get to see those small victories, and when all those small victories equal up to just a really great year versus like maybe one catastrophic thing that really fucked your brain up for like a month or two, but then you're like,
Yeah,
oh wow, a month or two of depression versus the rest of the,
the
year
whole
was-
year of being positive.
Mhm.
yeah, like
Well,
then you start to really start to realize that we let negative occupy way too much space.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
negative
I
things
try
that
not
happen.
to.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm working on
Uh-huh.
it myself. where
Yeah,
I've just
we
been
all.
like,
That's an
oh,
inherent. That's an inherent bad
Yeah.
quality of people is the negativity. Like,
Yeah.
because we all want to look at
sucks
the
you in.
negative.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
because it's
so-
easy. Because
Yeah.
negativity can be easy because
Yeah.
people mask negativity with jokes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just light teasing, you know, it's just all these things, and then it turns out to be like, oh, you were actually talking shit the whole
Yeah.
time. I
Yeah.
just
You-
thought
yeah.
thought you were just like you're a little quirky or you're just a little off. But it's like, oh no, you're just a
Hey,
dick.
you're giving
just
up all
a-
my secrets. You need to shut up.
You're just
You're
a
giving up all
dick.
my secrets. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Well, this is a great conclusion spot for us because we all kind of touched on like being grateful and staying positive and looking forward to the next year to come with that positive outlook. And clearly none of us really have it all together all the time.
No, we
Right.
won't.
But we're doing our best.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And I just want to say thank you to all of our listeners that have hung around with us and those in the future that we're hopefully going to get for the new year. And I want to say I'm thankful for all of you. I've spent most of the year working on this podcast with everyone and with my close friends, and I've really enjoyed it and I've been super grateful for that. So I just want to say thank you all for that. And I look forward to what we're going to do on this journey for 2025.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you guys and Merry Christmas.
And this is my first time, and I really had a great time. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Hey,
so
you did
much.
a great
Yeah,
job,
it was
Justin.
great,
I appreciate
Justin.
you guys.
It's
Thanks
been a good
for-
convo, man.
Thanks for
I
being
love you
on
guys.
with
Hey,
us.
love
Happy
everybody.
New Year.
Happy New Year,
I
everyone.
love you all.
New Year.
Hey, Kyle, I even love you. too.
I love you too, man. I love you too.
Much love. Good night.
Till the end.